this particular film, Naki, was different in the sense that the director started filming, I think, about 3 years ago. Didn't have money. SABC went back on their word. NFF didn't pay up, forgot they committed to the film. And so the director and producer, husband-wife team, just that started, so they carried on and they kept filming. And eventually Tim, who is a director, editor, who makes, you know, they go to the Antarctic. Where do they go? Yeah. Antarctic. They cut their own little films as well. So Tim, over the 2 years, as he looked at the material, he started assembling it. And then at some point brought me in. When they got some money. So that's totally different from the usual. The usual is, as somebody said earlier, director comes in, they give you a box of tapes and they say, do what you please. And that is when editing becomes hell. That's not freedom. It's because then what also happens is you start putting the film together and only then they start seeing what they don't want and what they want to do and so on. But Joao, who's sitting in the back there, is a director that I've worked with on a number of occasions. Where I think, if I may say, it becomes really a collaboration if you start a film from scratch together, where you trash it out and as you, or I don't know, somebody said that, especially today when directors can edit as well, there's that give and take kind of thing that happens. The fact that Tim could assemble his timeline gave me great insight into the kind of film that he wanted to make. And I think ultimately, if you're only involved in a project as an editor, one has to remember that you're there to give shape to somebody else's vision. So you have to immerse yourself in somebody else's world. So which was true in this instance of Naki, where Tim even laid up some music. So it was quite kind of, in a sense, quite. I can't say there were many challenges as such. It was just a joy to look at all this absolutely beautiful footage and tease out the little bits. Yesterday I was looking, I have to regrade the film this coming week. And I was looking at stuff and I saw a shot that I hadn't seen before, because you can imagine over 3 years somebody will shoot a rather large amount of footage. And yesterday, I finished with this film, I don't know, 6 weeks ago maybe. I saw a shot that I couldn't remember having seen before. I thought, wow, how, you know, now I want to go and re-edit that little section, because it is never finished. But that relationship is, it can become tricky as well if you. I think the Mugabe film that was also showing at the festival is a good example of a very tricky edit. The director and I just didn't see eye to eye on the subject matter. Then you have to decide, do I walk away from this, or do I submit and go with what the director wants to do and just do your job without getting emotionally invested in something? Because I think that's the thing that one has to say, what editing is about. It's a total emotional investment. I've never managed to close the office door at the end of the day and go home and not think, and not take that thing with me. if it's an upsetting thing that you're working on, then I sleep badly and I dream about it. On the Mugabe film, I dreamt that I went to a party where all my friends were, and the subject, the object of the party was to beat somebody else to death, and we had great fun doing it. And you know, so it really, I suppose it's a bit like actors who make a character their own. You make that form your own. Yeah, it becomes a total commitment.